Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Plant-Based Tip Tuesdays with myself. I am Coach Kayla, online dietitian, plant-based dietitian, nutrition, and run coach. And welcome to our plant-based performance running community and listeners. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to talk about how to pack and prepare when traveling for your race. So, what are the essentials? What do you need to have on you? How do you make sure that you are fueling the day before your race when you are traveling, sometimes out of state? And traveling quite a ways, it's important that you remember everything. So we're going to really cover all of that stuff because I want to make sure that you guys have a successful race and you're set up for success. And it is very important that we remember everything. And hopefully, you also learn from my mistakes as well. So I want to share a little bit about that as well because it kind of ties into this a little bit. But it is very important to make sure you are prepared. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much. Yes, it was a good race, and I'll be kind of giving you guys actually a little. I'll give you guys a little recap as well if you guys are interested. Tune in for that as well. If you are new here and you are new to these lives, make sure that you are joining us live, make sure that you click that link above so I can see who you are, or just post in the comments your name and where you're from. And we will get started. If you're watching this live on replay as well, comment below. And definitely as well, if you're listening to this on the podcast, let us know your takeaways as well. So let's get started. So the three things that I want to focus on, that I want to kind of how to break this down a little bit, is the first thing is to plan. Excuse me. The second thing is to prepare. And the third thing is to pack. So plan, prepare, and pack are the three things that you want to remember when it comes to traveling for your race. So, number one, you want to plan your meals and snacks. Plan your fueling, have a fueling plan, have a race plan, right? So, these are all important credential things that you want to do before. It's really nice to have a coach because your coach does this for you. They can, create that, give you that race plan, give you your fueling plan, and also help you. If they're also a nutrition coach, can help you, like I am, help you to plan those meals and those snacks as well when you're traveling for the race, because that can be a little bit more challenging if you're not running, in your hometown, and you need to remember to bring everything, or just knowing, okay, what do I have, right? What are my choices? So we need to make sure we have make sure that we plan. Hey, from Florida, Kayla, congrats on a great race. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So yeah, so plan. So what are some meals and snacks? What I do with with clients is I'll actually help them, and we work together and thinking about ideas. Doing that research ahead of time as well is helpful. What restaurants are around? Are there plant-based vegan restaurants that you can go to with your family that has other options if not everybody in your family is plant-based? So do some research as well. Some quick, kind of easy meal ideas is to, just keep it simple. Maybe create something, when you get there, if you're going to an Airbnb and you can cook, maybe have something like a big salad, or a big dish where you can share with the rest of your family. Like maybe, have a lasagna, or a crock pot meal, or instant pot meal, or something like that, that could last you a couple of days. Snacks, take snacks that are very easy, portable, and this is when those protein bars may be helpful. We don't want to rely on those all the time, but this is when they would be helpful. You could also bring rice cakes, pretzels, crackers, What else could you bring? Dried fruit, whole fruit, hummus and veggies. If you are able to like pack a cooler or something like cold food, or when you get there, you could get some options as well. Um, let's see. Um, oh, and then someone else also said that's a really good point as well. We need to know what options are available before, during, and after the race. Yeah, so if you can look into that, or if it's a race that you've done before, because I know that information isn't always readily available. It would be nice if it was, if we kind of knew ahead of time what kind of is going to be available. But what I usually tell people is to just prepare. Make sure you're prepared. Don't rely on what the race is going to give you, because unfortunately, it's not always the best. And a lot of times, they may not have foods that are either plant based or vegan, or, um, just don't have the products. Like, say, you're relying on, they're going to have giving out gels. What if they give out gels that aren't the gels that you used to have, right? And they might not be vegan, plant based, or they might not be something you tried. So you don't want to try something new on race day. So always, really just be prepared and plan it out. So some other snacks could be, we'll talk about kind of snacks you can prepare as well, but some easy snacks. What are some other snacks here? Ideas that I had. Um, let's see, apples, bananas, rice cakes. Yep, trail mix. Oh, that was the other one. Trail mix, dried fruit, cereal. Those are all things that are easily feasible, that don't have to be kept cold, that you can bring with you to snack on. So if you have a plane ride, make sure to have your snacks with you. Those sort of things. I actually made this mistake as well, because I had a little bit of layover, didn't quite have time to get something, but I should have planned to get off that plane right away, got something to eat, grabbed, something to go, or kind of looked at what my options were and kind of knew where I could go to get something real quick and take it on the plane. Because I ended up not eating till pretty late when I got in, and I was so hungry, and I was just feeling really fatigued and not really on my game. And this is like, fortunately, I did come a couple days early before the race. But if that was the day before, I would have definitely been stressed out, because I would have felt like, oh, I really have to get a good dinner in, and I need to make sure I'm hydrating as well. So that's another thing too. If you are taking a plane ride, bring a reusable bottle. Don't do what I did as well. I did this mistake as well. I accidentally tried to go through security with my bottle with water in it. So that was not fun to have to go back through security, because I had to dump it out. So don't do that, but bring a reusable water bottle, so when you get through the security, you can fill up that water bottle, so you don't have to worry about water. On our plane, I flew American Airlines actually, and they offered water, but they actually gave me this little bit of cup of water. It wasn't very much. So I was like, well, it's a good thing I did have my reusable water bottle with me. I just needed to make sure to fill it up before I got on the plane. So these are all things you want to kind of plan and think about. So first thing is plan. So we really talked about more about that fueling aspect, but also it's important to have a race day plan as well. Know what you're going to be running, know your splits, know, how, when you're going to take your fuel, all of that stuff is important to know. And then number two, as I said, is prepare. So what are you going to start preparing? Well, you want to start preparing, prepare those snacks. Prepare yourself mentally, prepare yourself to get your head in the game that you are racing. So some things to prepare, some things that I even did myself, was, or, kind of mentally, was watching motivational movies. I watched McClellan USA, and that just got me pumped up, got me excited. And also, as I said, prepare snacks. So you could prepare, like, you could do oat bites, or like energy bites would be a great snack to have. One of my clients also makes superhero muffins. So I think that's a really great idea too, to just have little muffins that you could take with you, and have that as a snack. So Those are some things that you can just prepare ahead of time. If you're going to fuel with dates, make sure to prepare those. And whether you have to put them in little baggies or whatever it is, just make sure to have that all prepared um, before you go. And then the last step is to pack everything, pack those snacks, pack your race kit. So in your race kit, you want your racing outfit, your fuel and hydration, your salt tabs, your sunscreen, your sunglasses, run goo. I know for me, I had this with me, but did not put it in the spots that I really needed it. And it rained, and that was not a good thing. So I had a lot of chafing. Um, don't feel so great afterwards because of that. So run goo is huge, or Vaseline. Vaseline also works as well, but make sure to just rub that everywhere. Don't miss those spots that you normally chafe. Really make sure to get those spots. A hat, as I said, sunglasses, running sneakers as well. Don't forget those running sneakers. Those are very important. And also a change of clothes and another pair of shoes. This is another mistake I made as well. It rained, so I got soaking wet. I brought an extra pair of clothes, but I did not bring extra shoes. And I think I only brought two pairs of shoes with me because went home for a couple days because that's where the race was. And I wore my running sneakers there, and I packed a pair of boots that I could wear out if we went out to, like a brewery. So I thought I'd want to have another pair of shoes, but I didn't have an extra pair of shoes that I could wear after the race. So that is also important as well. Um, so let's see. I see some comments here. Some races have water stations every mile, others don't. Find out what is available. Yes, that's a really good point as well. And we went over this actually with one of my clients today to check out how many water stations are there. So, like in my marathon I just ran, I think about every 2 miles there was a water station. I started with water. So every station there was, I took a little bit of water, took a little sip, and kept going. And then I switched to the energy drink, which I believe they had Huma. They said it was Gate. They called it Gatorade, but I'm pretty sure they said they were going to just offer the Huma products. At least they were handing out those gels as well. But yes, definitely good to see what they're giving out and what's available. Usually, they sometimes, as I said, sometimes you don't always know. This race, they did actually put on the website that they were going to use the Huma product. So I was pretty excited about that because that is what I use. So I was really excited about that. But yes, definitely a good point to add as well. So to summarize all of that, make sure to have a plan. So the first thing is to plan your race strategy. Plan out what you're going to do on race day. Plan out those meals and snacks for how many days you'll be there. Do some research, figure out if there's restaurants, places you can go to eat. So you have a plan when you get there and you know what you're going to be able to eat. Number two was to prepare snacks. So any snacks ahead of time, if you're able to bring them, is a very good idea. I also forgot to mention this, but I did bring Laura bars and my fig bars. So I did have those on me, bananas. I think that's all I kind of brought for snacks this time, but those are things that are always easy to have in your bag and a good idea to bring with you. But also, if you prepare like those energy bites or superhero muffins, it's also a really good idea. And then number three, I said, is pack. So pack your race kit and also pack those snacks. Make sure do not forget those snacks. So if you prepared any snacks or you grabbed any snacks ahead of time that you want to bring with you and have on you, make sure to bring that. And also make sure to have all your fueling and hydration as well. So make sure you have those gels or those dates. Make sure you have your electrolyte powders. Make sure you have those salt tabs, right? Make sure to have all of those things and make sure you have enough of them. So hopefully when you create that plan, you know how many you will need and bring extra. It's Also, an extra tip I want to give you guys is bring extra. And I ran into that issue as well, which unfortunately lost all my gels on the race course. But it's always good to bring extra in case that happens, like say beforehand, you lose more, but also bring extra during the race as well. So that's also a tip I want to give you guys so you don't make the mistake I did. Um, any other questions? Yeah. So is there any other questions that anybody has about, planning meals and snacks, planning that race strategy, preparing those snacks, preparing for your race mentally, or, packing that race kit or packing a race kit and your fueling and your snacks for when you travel? Okay, great. Cool. So I don't see um any other questions. Awesome. Great. Well, thank you guys for the congratulations. I thank you guys so much for watching my journey as well as a runner, and I appreciate all the support as well. And kind of, as I said, I kind of shared some of the mistakes that I made. So I hope you guys don't make those mistakes as well. It did go well for the most part. I think it didn't get my goal time, and I think that had a lot to do with not having my gels and not fueling. So, the biggest thing I can tell you guys is just make sure to have those fueling, have that plan, and hopefully don't drop your gels like I did, or have a plan B. Have someone on that course that can give you something to have if that happens. Or just make sure to have them in a place where they won't drop. So I thought maybe, and I've done this before and they have fallen before, but usually they're less likely if I have a safety pin. So maybe that's something I need to add to my race kit, to also bring safety pins with me, because I didn't have enough of them. So I did try to use 2 for 1. Or 1 pin for 2 gels, and maybe that could be what happened, is why I lost them. So, yeah, definitely make sure to have those feeling, but I think that has a lot to do with really just actually um it's kind of crazy, but even I hit the wall. I would say I pretty much did. My legs were very fatigued, and mentally just was struggling to push through it. I did come through, but my mom did come to my rescue, gave me some dates, some pretzels, and I had 2 miles left, and that seemed to give me a good enough energy and good enough kick to finish the race. But I was so close to just not wanting to finish at all. So I was pretty excited to still get an 8-minute PR, which should have been probably more like a 10-15 minute PR. But um, things happen. It's not always you don't never know what's going to happen on race day. But what you can do is prepare yourself for what's going to happen. You don't know what the weather is going to be like. You don't know what's really going um, to happen on race day. But all you can do, as I said, is just prepare for it and do your best and believe in yourself. So, those are the tips I have for today. And thank you guys again for supporting my journey, as well as supporting this, being a part of this running community, as well as the Plant Based Performance podcast. So I hope to see you guys again next week. Take care. Bye.